Good morning, everybody. Up in Mount Pleasant again. It's been a day or two since my last video. We're going to do some running up here, and I've got a story for you of a very big order from yesterday. That'll be coming up whenever I get around to recording it. And it's big. It's my new record for a single order. So we'll get to that, and we'll show you some orders along the way, maybe tell some stories, and we'll go from there. You ever see these split time Shipt orders? You ever run them? I generally don't, because I think they're not dangerous per se, but they're really risky to run. The reason being is to effectively do them, you want to drop off at the end of the first window on your first order and then drop off at the beginning of your second window. And that's why they're risky, because if you miss the timing, you're going to be late on them, and you only get so many late runs on Shipt before they deactivate you. So I think it's probably the silliest doubling up I've ever seen. You know, in fact, apps doubling or tripling orders in general, I hate it, because you know anytime you're running a double or anytime you're running a triple, you're losing money one way or another. Sure, people may argue that you get, more money if you get like 2 or 3 tippers all bundled together, and that's true. But you're still losing money on the base pay, no matter how you look at it, be it Walmart Spark, be it Instacart, be it Shipt, be it DoorDash. You're still losing money. Most times they use it as a way to deliver orders you wouldn't normally deliver. They'll put a small order that doesn't tip with a big order. And you know that going in, and it's very seldom that you'll get multiple good tippers in a single run. So I tend to not like running them, but sometimes we just don't have a choice out here. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, I decided to clean up my act a little bit. I was starting to look pretty rough there, so got a shave on, which sucked. Razor burned my face, so hate cheap razors. And got a haircut. No more wings. I don't know. I guess if you look better, you feel better. But it's kind of hard to stay positive out here sometimes. I mean, gig economy right now is rough. You'll have some good days where you run really good. And then you'll have other days where you can't get an order to save your life. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. It's like that for a lot of people right now. Even the ones that say, I do great every day, a lot of them don't. So every day is an adventure out here. All right, sitting here, just got about 10 offers, all declines. And it's funny because I just had to shut my shops off on DoorDash because every shop it was bundling with a food order. Every single one of them. And the shops are usually crap when they're bundled with a food order. And the fact of the matter is if you're trying to just run food orders, a lot of them are good by themselves. But the fact of the matter is if you have shops on, 9 times out of 10, it's going to bundle them together and make it not worth running. Whereas if you don't have shops on, it's going to send you the food orders by itself. It's funny how that works, right? DoorDash wanting you to do something a certain way and then sending you orders to make you do it that way? No, they'd never do that. Never. So, yeah, shut shops off. We'll see if it gets any better. I had about only 24 minutes of sit time, but 10 offers, all shops bundled with food delivery. Crazy. A little bit more about myself. I've been doing this for a little over 5 years now. And I remember when DoorDash first started doing shop and delivers. Getting a food order with a shop and deliver was unheard of. Like, they didn't bundle them together very often. And then as slowly time progressed, they started bundling them together. And that's because Dashers realized that shopping for the most part on DoorDash is absolutely not worth it in most cases. The pay is low and you might as well do it on a shopping app. All right, looks like we're gonna have a slow day today. 12:30 start, it's now 2:30. As I said prior, have shut shops off. App's pretty silent, and the orders we are getting are very, very bad. Upside down, long miles. So 2 hours in, no orders yet. So we'll let you know if we get anything. And like I said, I still do have the story coming on my largest order I've ever completed, money-wise, in a little bit. All right, I just got an order and dropped it off. It was a 670 plus. You can see the end screen here of when I dropped it off, but it was 2 hours to get that. So not going too good today, but I know it's going to pick up. It's just a matter of when. All right, just got another one. We're heading down to the Soda Lounge. It's just down Broadway, probably a couple blocks from where I am. It says the order's ready, so hopefully a quick turn and burn, and I'll show you what the order goes for when I drop it off. All right, that one went up a little itty teeny bit, so it's all right. As long as I can keep getting them back to back, it make for a decent day to make up for the first 2 hours we missed orders. Okay, so I was telling you about the catering order. So I had just gotten half pay for the catering order of $35.08. They had just canceled it. And I was sitting there still on with support, and the order came back again. So what did I do? I reached over and I hit accept again and told the support agent I just got it again. And they're like, wait, no, we canceled it. I'm like, well, it's on my screen and I just got it again. And they were like, okay, hold on a minute. We're going to go ahead and cancel this again. So they proceed to cancel it again, and they're like, okay, we're going to give you like $4.58 the second time. Which, you know, I should have got half pay again, but I understand why they didn't. So they cancel the order again. Well, guess what happened on the third time? Got the order again. Hit accept. And they're like, okay, we don't know what's going on. Can you go in and see if the order's been redone by the customer or what's going on? So I go in and I ask them, I said, are you getting this order again on your screen? And they're like, no, we don't have anything on our screen. And support's listening in at the same time. They're like, okay, yeah, go ahead and get out of there. So I head back to the car, and they're like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We want you to confirm the order, take a picture of your catering bag. And I'm like, okay, so I do all that. And now I'm on delivery with an order I don't have. And they're like, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cancel it again. And I'm like, well, if you cancel it again, it's just going to come back again. I said, why don't you just document it really, really well? I said, and just go ahead and complete the order. Or I can just go ahead and complete the order. And they're like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So they go ahead, or I try to complete the order, and I can't complete it because obviously I'm geofenced and I'm not anywhere near the drop-off point. So I go ahead and try to, and I can't. So I tell them, hey, I can't because I'm not near the delivery place, and it's not even giving me the option to proceed. And they're like, all right, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to complete it on our end. So they go ahead and complete it on their end, and this is what I got. I got $146 and some change or something like that. So here's my question to you. How is a $35.08 half pay 50% of $146? It kind of makes you wonder, how often are they doing this of where they are ripping a driver off? You guys tell me. Does this make you upset? Because it sure does. It should. It definitely should. But all in all, it was $186 and some change or something like that. I added it up on the calculator, and I have screenshots for it all. So there you have it. There's the story. Just picked up a 670 plus Taco Bell on the way to drop it off. Now, I didn't get a screenshot of the initial offer screen, so I'm going to drop that off, but you're going to see a screenshot right now of what it went for. I don't suspect it to go up much. It's just a little order, so get that dropped off, and then we'll see you on the next one. So we're about 3.5 hours in and only run 3 orders so far. We're like $5-6 an hour. It's pretty bad out here today. We'll see. I mean, Who knows? Hopefully it picks up and maybe we can find some bigger orders or something. But right now, not looking too promising. All right, guys, I have sat way too long. Way too long. I ended up taking a 795 plus from the Twisted Fork, but I have had a lot of plus orders. But the way I look at it is I can't be running $6 pluses once an hour and making like less than 10 bucks an hour. So I'll show you what this one looks like. I didn't get a screenshot, but it was a 795 plus, and I'll show you what it is when I drop it off, or actually it'll be there right now. Day is not going so well. Tons and tons of declining. I'm gonna run this Taco Bell that I just got. It's $11.95. Take that, go drop it off. Hopefully can get some more decent orders. It's gonna be a long night. That was fun. They just tried to send me off with no drinks. Luckily I corrected them, and then it took forever to get the drinks. So that's always fun. Got a little bit of a trip out here. The other thing about my videos is everybody else is going to show you the glitz and the glamour of doing gig work and everything else. I'm showing you the true reality of how some days can be. And now think about the reality that I'm having now, and I can cherry pick my orders because of my ambassador status and keeping my platinum for life. Imagine what dashers who can't do that are experiencing out here, that have to take the $2, the $3, the $4 orders, otherwise they lose their 70 or 80%. I'm cherry picking out here, and I'm below $10 an hour. Think about that for a second. Once I drop this off, I'll show you the order. Well, there we go. DoorDash hiding money, and it wasn't even behind a plus order. And now when you get to the end screen and you pull it up and it shows full details, it doesn't even tell you that they hid money anymore. Talk about manipulation. So now they manipulate you with plus orders. They manipulate you with money hidden behind non-plus orders. Of course, they've been doing that for years. I discovered that a long time ago. That's not anything new. But now they're hiding the fact that it paid more than what the initial offer screen is. Ain't that wonderful? There comes a point in time of when you're in a market and you're just wasting your time. I mean, I made $43 in over 6 hours or something like that. It's on the screenshot there of my final earnings. Not done for the night, but gonna head back to our home market, which you're actually gonna get to see. We're gonna head back to Alma. That is actually our home market, and cross our fingers that it's not dead there as well. We'll see, and maybe we can get a few orders out and salvage something out of this day, because like I said, right now we're just wasting our time up here. Didn't get anything super big. Most of the stuff we actually seen was just either upside down orders or under $5 orders, and I won't run those. But in Alma, the whole strategy changes because there's not as much volume. There's not as big of orders. I mean, there can be if you get some nice Shipts or Instacarts or something like that, but we'll see what that market's gonna do. It's a plan B, and if plan B doesn't work, I really don't have a plan C. So guess you're along for the ride if you've made it this far. Yeah, let's do that, and I'll be back with you once we're there. All right, back in my home zone in Alma here, and it's 7:40. We'll see what we do. Don't know how much longer we're gonna run. We almost debated not running at all, going home, and there's always tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Actually, that only took about 16 minutes, right? 16 minutes? Yeah. So 16 minutes, I got a $6 order going 2.4 miles from Culver's. I didn't want to take it. I hate it. But with a day I've had, I better run something or I'm going to go home broke on a break-even day. So that, and I think the more of these orders I start declining that are in the decent range, the more looks I get from the passenger seat princess. So let's not make mama ornery. Just got that order dropped off and couldn't get it dropped off fast enough. They had like some onion soup in there. It tasted, well, not tasted, it smelled so freaking burned. It was horrible. Glad it's sitting at their door and not in my car anymore. Well, I've had about enough of today's train wreck. So I think I made like 50 bucks or something. Not a ton. But I'll leave you with this nice, beautiful scenery that the wife did on a video as an outro, and we'll see you on the next one.